said that we were gonna go ahead and get into it. Many salute, Alito. Oh, okay, all right. Let fill me in on that information. We're gonna get into some stuff though, real quick. All right, but yeah, we got a very excellent one coming at you guys today. Uh, this is about closing the wallets for the rest of 2025. You guys seen the thumbnail? You guys have seen the title? Well, I think I changed the title about closing the wallets for what's happening is a lot of our people are coming to a point where this government is not serving its purpose, hence why it's shut down. But in the midst of all of this chaos and confusion, yeah, I do have an email, sis. I'll give it to you. Chief Steve, yeah. So it's like the TikTok, chiefsteve.yt. You just put at gmail.com at the end. Alrighty, title. But right now, we have to get into why our people are deciding to close the wallet. So, in the midst of all this chaos and confusion that's going on, the government decided to shut down. They decided to take people's benefit. At the same time, it's hurting. You know, they know where the true power lies. And I made a stitch to a video. And I made a stitch to a video that I'll show you guys in the coming reels about a woman who works in a store and seeing that they're starting to do more, they're starting to pander to us as far as to their holiday season. You know, the Christmas things are starting to come in. You got your elves and your Santa Clauses and different things like that. And now, back in the like how back in the day, all we used to see is, you know, the little YT Santa Clauses and Mrs. Claus and the little YT elves and things like that. But now it's getting to a point where they're starting to make these little things about us. You know, now they're starting to have so-called black Santa Clauses, so-called black elves on the shelves. You know, and Amerindian themed ornaments and stuff. And when I say Amerindian, recognize I do mean those who are reclassified today as Black Americans. You know, those who know. If you're on this platform, you're on this channel, you subscribe to the channel, you know, you already know what's up, what the get down is. Alito, appreciate you, Indigenous Copper Goddess, for coming in. Like I said earlier, I gotta change the title to this. Once everything is said and done, I had jumped the gun a little bit, fixed the description and everything, but I changed the title. But I appreciate you coming in. This is we're officially, we are here in the time of, you know, going into the harvest season and everything are coming in. Our squashes, you know, our you know what I'm saying? Our you know, persimmons and different things like that. So we're coming into that time of season, and you know what they like to call Thanksgiving, and you know all that. Around that time, it was our harvest moon festival, our harvest season. You know what I mean? But things have been so commercialized today to where you can't get away from this Thanksgiving and Christmas. But our people are starting to lead the charge on closing the wallets. They're calling it close the wallets. Yeah, yeah, we ain't buying it no more. The mockery games are done, sis. It's over and done with. You know, because it's time that we get back or get forward to doing for ourselves and spending on ourselves. And a lot of the people that I'm about to show you guys are getting forward to that, and they're making it known. And that's one thing that I'm really proud of. I'm proud of my people, despite all of the hard things that's going on, the tough times. We're starting to take care of each other more. We're starting to do more for our communities. Yep, exactly. Um, and we have farmers out here that are taking care of our people, opening up free grocery stores, and doing food giveaways and stuff. Bottom line is we're taking care of our people, and they know that it's our people first. Our people come first. You know, unlike all the other times where you know they try to put us on the back burner. Now that everything is basically going to shit, they're trying to put us in the forefront yet again, to try to save this country. So you will notice the pandering. You will notice, the commercials. You will notice, the things in the stores are starting to look a little more melanated, a little more, copper oriented, because who has the largest spending power in this country? It's us. So with that all being said, how can we be the minority of this country, really? When you take away something like subsidies, yet at the same time you're depending on us to keep this economy afloat. You're not depending on your white counterparts. Uh, you're not depending on those who you like to put in the front on the cover of magazines, or in the on your feel good stories and stuff, on your Hallmark movies and everything like that. You're not depending on them to keep the economy afloat. You're depending on those that you have belittled and degraded for centuries to keep this system going. Even when there's fighting amongst their own house, fighting in their own house, because you got the left wing and the white and the right wing, right? But it's all the same bird, right? And birds of a feather, they all flock together. So they all decided, you know what? Although this government shut down, we can't come to a consensus. We can't come to an agreement. We still got to keep this money flowing. And they know that even with the subsidies and stuff being gone, it's the so-called black community that keeps this globe rotating, you know? So, I mean, hey, it is what it is, but our people are starting to catch whiff of this. This is not like the days of old. This is not like, the times where, well, despite of, we're gonna find a way to try to do this and do that because we wanna live that American dream. And when well, once you realize that you are the American reality, that you are the true American, there is no need to have an American dream. We are the dream. We are the ones that everyone aspires to be in this country. We are the status that everyone craves in this country, our true status. Hence why you have those who fake and pretend to be like us. Hence why you have people who constantly copycat our culture, you know, and then at the same time want to turn around and fix their mouth to say that we don't have any culture. But yet it's our culture that you tap into when you want to move something. It's our culture that you tap into when you want to sell something. It's our culture that you tap into when you want this country saved. We are the ones that you come to in order for things to stay balanced, to stay afloat. But our people, like I said, are coming to a point where enough is enough. And we're leading that charge. And we've been silent all year. And I commend my people on that. We've done a great job at keeping our peace, at staying at rest. And now that they're starting to put their names in our mouth, put our names in their mouths again. And we've always clapped back. We've always said what we had to say and been done with it. But now it's starting to get physical in the sense of you're starting to see things move. You're starting to see things in stores. You're starting to see the outright pandering, and they don't have no shame in it. You know what I mean? So now our people are speaking out again, and they're saying, "Hey, it's time to close the damn wallets." And I ain't doing nothing more than echoing the same sentiments. It's time to close our wallets. And I know some people say that, well, we're just going to close it from, this time to this time and that time to that time, or, just for temporary. But I'm saying, hey, as long as this government ain't functioning and as long as they feel like they have an upper hand on us, let's show them where the true power lies. Let's show them where the true power lies. They recognize and they realize that and they're acting on it, yet at the same time, they don't know that we know. And in order for them to know that we know, it's time for us to take action. And that's exactly what our people are doing. That's what our people are encouraging others to do. And others are starting to get on board. They're starting to see. Those who did not listen to us before are starting to listen to us now because they see firsthand how this government treats them. They see firsthand that the powers that be really do not give a damn about them. And we've been trying to tell them this for a very long time, you know. But yeah. Let me get some more lighting in here. I'm gonna pause for the cause and then we're gonna go ahead and get into some of these reels, all right? Give me 1 second. Alrighty. May not look like much of a difference, but it feels good to me. It's another light over here. All right, so uh, let's get into the chat. Let's see what's going on. Indigenous Copper Goddess, Halito. All right, we need to start growing our food again. 100, 100, yep. And like I said, we're doing that. Our farmers are stepping out and they're doing that. Wing Jaguar, my cousin. Halito, sis, how you doing? How you doing? All right, y'all. Minnie, I hope you got my you sent that email. I again, if anybody wants to reach out, chiefsteve.yt@gmail.com. All right, that's me right there. I will answer that promptly. Okay, so all that being said, again, let's go ahead and share the screen and get into the true story of what's going on. All right, let's start here.
To me, the only logical response to the government canceling SNAP benefits is for Americans to cancel the holiday season. Close the wallets. Close the wallets. You don't need to buy a turkey. You've had turkeys for the last how many years? You're good to skip a year. Black Friday hasn't Black Friday and I don't know how long. The deals suck. You don't need a new flat screen. You already got one from last year. Your kids have tablets, they have toys, they have electronics. They'll be good to miss out on 1 year. They'll be okay. Close the wallets. Cop boy. You know? We shouldn't be spending any money then. It makes no sense for, in response to the government taking food off people's tables, for us to then open our wallets and continue the economy as if nothing is wrong. It's time for a cop boy of the holiday season. The time of year where corporations make the most money, yeah, shut it down. Close the wallets. To me, the only logical response to the government.
All right, so that's our sis right here. This is basically the video that you know started the ball rolling. It took our women, of course, as always. Shout out to our beautiful copper colored women out here, our copper colored Aboriginal women that are always leading the forefront. When our women speak, the earth moves, mountains move, the oceans part. That's just the kind of power that our women have. And people say, "Oh, you simping," or you know, nah, it ain't nothing like that. When you're a mature man, and you're maturing in your masculine energy, you have the ability and the capability to recognize and nurture and appreciate the feminine energy. You bring that balance to yourself. And when you recognize that balance within yourself, you see just how important the feminine energy is as well as the masculine energy. It's a balance there. But at the same time, like I said, you always appreciate that feminine energy. And it's that nurturing energy that brings the attention, that puts that frequency out there for all those to stop and hear what our women has to say. Despite all of the tropes, despite all of the negative connotations that they try to put on our women, when our women speak, when they open their mouths, the world shuts up and listens. It never fails. So shout out to y'all. And shout out to our sister right here, Sister Cindy, who brought this, to folks' attention. So she ain't done though. She ain't done.
Okay, no, but can we talk about this one, y'all? Because close the wallets really means close the wallets to big corporations, right? Stop spending all of your money on Amazon for the holiday season. Stop going to these big brands and putting your money in their pockets. Instead, spend locally. Do you know any friends who run a business, a local small business? Support them. If you're gonna spend money, spend it in that way. And if you're not going to support or spend money, then close the wallets and open up your hearts and your homes to your family and community. Spend your Black Friday not in a store spending money, but at home with your family and your community. Spend Cyber Monday not on Amazon, but at home with your family and community. For Christmas, don't just not do gifts, make gifts. Yes, I made this. Exchange with one another. Barter talent for talent. Barter creativity for creativity. Find unique ways to celebrate the people that you know and love outside of giving large corporations more of your money that they don't need. Make sense? Great. Okay, no, but can we talk?
Right? So we're not necessarily saying stop spending money altogether, or don't don't get necessities or anything like that. What we're simply saying is these big corporations, these ones that like to pander to us around this time of year, that spends all these millions and billions of dollars on commercials and stuff, and at the same time spending millions and billions of dollars to keep us in a state of poverty. But at the same time, like I said, they need us. Those that are dependent on our money, that are dependent on our dollars to keep their systems going in order to keep us in a state of degradation, a state of classification, a state of poverty, like I said. And just, not only just poverty financially, but poverty of the mind. The ones that's funding these endowments to these different schools and universities and science institutions and anthropology institutions and stuff, that's constantly keeping us in a state of not knowing who we are, or constantly moving the goalposts, or constantly, oh, it's a new study that shows this about, Americans, Black Americans being African. Every time that we come into a shade of truth, and we come into a light, rather, of truth, and we try to shine that light, they always there to throw a little shade at us and say, oh, well, this is peer reviewed. This is something that's backed by science. This is backed by this institution. This is backed by that institution. And then when you see the corporations and the different individuals that fund these different studies and false narratives, a lot of them are a part of these big corporations that we religiously spend our money on and during this time of year. And we do that and we keep them in power. That's who she's saying that we need to get away from. That's who she's saying that we need to close the wallets to. Right? And she may not be speaking on that deep of a level, but real ones can read between the lines. Real ones know. You know? And it's time that we stop giving them our power. Our money is energy. And our energy is power. Whether we have it in money, physical dollars, or whether we have it through our talents, rather our athletics, our voices, our artistic talents. That's all energy, including, like I said, our money, our dollar bills. That's energy. It's time for us to stop giving a system that is broken, a system that has continuously kept us in a state of poverty. Like I said, poverty is more than just finances. You can have all the money in the world but still be in a state of poverty, because it all starts with the mind. So when you're constantly feeding that system, you're keeping yourself down. So I'm really proud of my people for stepping up and deciding that, enough is enough. We got some more right here for sure.
What'd she say? Close the wallets. Close the wallets this holiday season. See, I prepared myself for this. I'm gonna tell you why. Because last year, and the year before that, me and my boo, we started to realize that these traditions are taking all of our money. And so we needed that money to continue to start our business, right? So we started our business, and we told ourselves we're not going to celebrate any of the holidays, including like birthdays and stuff like that. So we really been strict on not doing that and trying to keep the money to ourselves. And with this whole government situation, it's really brought to my head that close the wallets. Close the wallets. If you guys don't spend any money for the holidays, that may make an impact, because why they building a ballroom? Okay.
See? And yeah, I wasn't even trying to put old boy in it, but yeah, he's building a ballroom out there in that house that we built. He's knocking it down, and he's adding on to it. He building something for himself, you know. And old boy just had a Halloween party at his mansion and stuff. I mean, Great Gatsby style. Like, it was a Gatsby themed ball or whatever, little prohibition party or whatnot. And you already know, during the prohibition era, what was happening? What happened right after prohibition? What happened right after prohibition? The Great Depression. The Great Depression is what happened right after the prohibition. So it's like old boy is, I ain't gonna say his name. Everybody got different names for him too on here, but I ain't even got the energy to even. I'm just calling him old boy. Old boy, he knows, and he's mocking. You know what I mean? He's literally playing in our face. Not just our face, but the whole country's face. And now these palm colored folks, the ones that thought that there was a line with them, and the ones that the palms and then the side palms, the ones that feel like they got that proximity, but really don't. They're starting to find out where they really stand with this guy and his administration and his, and his agenda altogether. You know what I'm saying? So now it's time. Now they're listening to us, and this is what we're talking about. This is what's happening.
Y'all do realize that them cutting off SNAP benefits for tens of millions of people all at once is so they can do the next step that they have been trying to do since January. They have been trying to put this country in a place of lawlessness to further their agenda since January, and it has not worked. They have tried to rage bait. They have tried to push forth agendas. They have tried to anger. They have tried literally everything since January to push this country, our cities, our states, into a place of lawlessness so they can push forth their next phase, which is martial law, which is saying, oh, we got to send in the military. Oh, we got to send in the National Guard. They have tried it. So now what they're going to do is let's cut off the food. Let's not feed tens of millions of freaking people and see what happens next. And then what happens is you have a bunch of people that go and they start stealing from grocery stores. They start looting. It becomes lawless to try to feed your family, to try to get kids food, to try to stop your children from going hungry, to try to stop your elderly grandparents and parents and things like that from freaking going hungry, just so they can push forward and actually say, yep, it's lawless. We got to push in the National Guard. We got to declare martial law. We got to do exactly what the fuck we said we was going to do. Project 2025 is a real fucking thing. Read it. Pay attention. They've been trying different things literally that have not worked for months. Cutting off the food supply is just the next thing. So those of us that can afford to stock up this weekend and all of next week need to fucking do that. Get ready to bunker the fuck down. Get your stuff for your things and get ready to bunker the fuck down, because it's about to get rough.
So sis said what she said, and she's standing on that, and I completely echo that sentiment. I echo that sentiment entirely. That entire sentiment. I echo that, and I agree with that. I stand with this sister right here, because, yeah, they know what they doing. This has all been a part of their plan since, old boy got in office, since old boy was running, So now that old boy is in a position where he can start, moving shit, that's exactly what they've been doing. And we all know he's got a hand up his ass. It's not just him. He's got a whole foundation and a whole bunch of organizations and corporations backing him, doing what, exactly what they want him to do. And so with all that being said, we have to make sure that we're taking care of ourselves out here. We're taking care of one another. Like getting our houses in order first. Our people first. Us first. We've been putting other people in front of us for so long. We got to take care of us first. And so this is what's happening. This is, everybody knows what's going on and how they moving. But the smart ones have been preparing, and, and those who have not had the ability to prepare, it's nothing against any of them. You know what I'm saying? It's like I told you guys, we in California, it's expensive out here. And, we did the proper steps, at the beginning, going towards the end of last month, middle of last month, and going into, the beginning of this month. We've taken the proper procedures to stock up, make sure that, we got our stuff for our things. And we made sure that, we got food in the freezer and everything, and we good. We good. There's no complaints over here. It's still tight. It's still a bit of a struggle, but hey, who feels it knows it. And I can tell you right now, we not feeling it half as much as most of them ones that really dependent on old boy to come through for them as much as they feeling it. You know what I'm saying? And that's just the truth. You know, that's just the truth. But we've personally, my family, we've taken proper procedure and stuff, and we're making sure that we're we're not in a dire situation of need. You know, we got the necessities, and I encourage all of you, if you haven't, if you have the ability to, definitely get yourself a freezer. Get yourself like a, just a little stand, flat freezer, or one that stands up, something like that. Whatever's to your financial convenience, and stock that thing up. Even if you put in a little bit of it, you know, a little bit a week, or a little bit, the payday come, make sure you get you some meats, get you some fruits, get you some vegetables, some things that you can chop up real quick, that you can preserve, that you can, get you some containers, some food containers and stuff, you know. And yeah, my wife has a channel called Meal Optimization on TikTok. Just look up Meal Optimization. Um, and it's got a little generic C as the logo. She hasn't put her picture or nothing up on there. It's kind of like a faceless thing, but she has, she's starting to make her TikToks and stuff. I think it's only one video up there for now, but she's gonna be showing y'all how to optimize these meals, how to prepare these meals, and how to keep things, fresh, and how to keep things stocked up for yourself. And we have a large family, so whatever she's doing, that you can do at least on a micro scale. You know what I'm saying? Or if you do exactly what she says on there, that you're gonna have food for a very long time, because these are things that we're doing to prepare for a whole month. You know what I mean? We food prep for a whole month in advance, and we prepare for a, family of 8. It's 8 of us all together. You know, it's me, my wife, 3 boys and 3 girls, and so that's a lot of food. So if you at least do exactly what we do, you know, you know that you're gonna have enough to feed 8 for a whole month. And if it ain't even half of that in your family, in your household, you good. You know what I'm saying? And we show you how to do all that at an affordable rate as well. These are things that you can get a good price and find sales and stuff in your local markets, and and even going to those kind of foods and meats that folks think, well, and I know out here you got those who are in tune with their indigeneity, those who are in tune with that what they call that countryside, them country roots. They know these cuts, like beef feet, neck bones, pigtails, chitlins, and I know how people feel about chitlins, but it's a certain way to do them, maws and things like that. When you know how to prepare those things, and you know how to clean them right, you know how to get those cuts, and know how to cook those the right way, those things come in handy, because a lot of that stuff is, like I said, very affordable for the time being. I remember at a time, beef shanks used to be really affordable, very affordable, because nobody knew really too much about beef shanks. But then, I don't know, somebody tipped somebody off. One of our people tipped off one of these folks out here, man, and then they got on here. Oh, beef shanks, they're like a poor man's oxtail. These are better than oxtails. And then all of a sudden, beef shanks went from like 1.99, 2.99 a pound out here to like $7, $8, $9 a pound, man. Like literally, it felt like overnight. You know what I mean? And it's like, But I'm telling y'all, us first, okay? And just when you find those good cuts, you find those good meats and stuff. Of course, share it with family and stuff, but don't be going all on social media and advertising where you're at and what you're doing and things like that. And yeah, it's good to help folks, but if you can do it on a personal level or be like, hit me in the DMs and I'll tell you exactly where I got this or what price it is or whatever. you know Not saying don't completely uh bogart the information as far as helping folks out, but make sure that we're helping our people out first. you know and then, yeah, you see those in need and stuff and you have the means to pay it forward, or then, yeah, by all means, let's do that. But make sure you're taking care of yourself, and let's make sure we're taking care of each other first. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, meal optimization. Look that up on TikTok. She's gonna be starting a YouTube soon as well. I'll give y'all some information on that in the future when that time comes. But for now, let's just keep on rolling with the true story.
I do not give a flying rat's ass if Trump comes through and we call on November 1st, 12:01 a.m. and them stamps suspended. Do not, do you fucking hear me? Do not spend no money at none of these major stores. Christmas is still motherfucking canceled. Do you hear me? Christmas is still fucking canceled. Don't spend no fucking money. I'm not playing with y'all. Y'all want to show them some shit? Show them, yeah, you could give us our shit back. That's cool. But we not fucking playing with y'all. We not fucking playing with y'all. And stop playing with us. Don't spend no fucking money. Them kids got all the shit that they fucking need. Trust me, don't spend no fucking money.
All right, another one of our sisters. Right? She's saying, like, there's some of us out here that get it. There's some of us out here that gets that help. But even if that help was to come back, even if it was to be pending right now, we standing on business. The fact that you feel like you can fuck with us like that, the fact that you feel that you can play in our face like that, and then when shit gets, when we start pushing back, you wanna backpedal and nah. And although we accept the help, and although we, bottom line is we gonna put ourselves first. We have self-worth. You know what I'm saying? And that's why you got sisters like her and the sisters before you, the sisters before them, before her, and even myself. We striving to get into better situations. This ain't no permanent thing for us. This ain't no generational thing for us. When you look at the statistics of who's been on, how many people are on the government subsidies and how long them folks been on subsidies, you see that it's not our people that are leading that statistic. It's the mother folks, and nothing against them. If they want to move that way, that's how they move. But we move different. We put into this system. Like I said, we got the largest, the biggest spending power in this country. We literally move this system. So when we decide, and it comes a time where we need some individual help, then by all means, don't be too prideful, to not ask for that help to feed your family, especially if you have a family. You know, it was not easy for my wife and I, being providers, making almost $8,000 to $10,000 a month at one point, to come to a point where we had to realize that, hey, the money ain't coming in like it used to. Things is tough. But if it was just us, I mean, we can live off of, the minimum. I remember when before my firstborn got here, when we moved into our house together before we had got married, we had moved into our apartment together. Uh, we our first meal was a struggle meal, but I tell you what, between me and her, we spent about maybe I think about $54, man. $54, and we made that shit last all the way up to my paycheck. You know, because I was in the midst of I was driving trucks. You know what I'm saying? So I had to make that money. I had to get paid. You know, and then so between then and the next paycheck, because we had just put all of our money in on putting a down payment on an apartment, getting our furniture, getting everything and stuff in order. So you know how that goes when you in a transition like that and you coming together and stuff. You know, things get pretty tight. We literally bought a car. We put a down payment on an apartment, first and last month's rent, and we got furniture for the house all in 1 month. All in the midst of like one paycheck. And we had a baby on the way. So we had, it was a lot of shit that we had to pay for. Period. And we got all of that stuff done within like a 30-day spread. And so when we did that, we was like, okay, well, we got to eat. So we used the little bit of money that we had left. Well, not all of it. We spent exactly $54, and we made that shit last for almost 2 weeks. And that's just a testimony to how great my wife is, as far as like, how great of a food prepper she is. The woman knows food. The woman knows how to cook. And man, it's awesome that she's deciding now, especially in this time, to share that knowledge with y'all. So by all means, like I said, meal optimization, look that up on TikTok, and if y'all don't see it, like I said, chiefsteve.yt@gmail.com. Let me know, if you'd like that link, and I'll forward you that link specifically, But yeah. It's when times is tough and things like that. I mean, we know how to survive. We, at the bare minimum, being the indigenous people of this land, being the stewards of this land, rather you in the country and you able to grow your own food and do your own, self-sustainability, or if you a city Indian, if you an urban Indian, and you out here in these streets, you know how to survive. We know how to survive. All terrains. This wouldn't be our land if we didn't know how to move on it, right? And that just shows you, and just going off on a tangent. Hey, those that's going to Africa and stuff like that, that's going to places like Ghana and Tanzania and Nigeria and stuff, when they get out there, they don't know how to move. They don't know how to operate and navigate on that land. So when your money run out, your money just run out. And majority of those people that's going out there is coming back out here because they know how to move out here. They know how to navigate out here. They know how to survive out here when times get tough. They don't have to worry about getting scammed. They don't have to worry about getting robbed, And that's just testimony to who the original people of this land is, where your house really is, who your mama really is. My mama ain't Africa, but I digress. Let's keep moving forward in the true story.
It's a sister on here just got done saying, let's hot boy the shutdown.
Mommy,
and the way you're doing this is not bad for the holiday.
Look.
Why not? It's like she said, we didn't have turkey all our life. What's wrong with missing a year of turkey?
Mommy.
Hold on one second. Okay, my son wanted to show me. Okay, they hungry?
Yeah, hurry.
Okay, let them eat. Okay, yeah, let's do that. Why do we got to spend our money and they don't want to give us no money? They already don't really give us nothing, but come on. Thanksgiving, bad nothing. Christmas, bad nothing. You gets nothing if if I don't receive nothing, you gets nothing. Period. Close your wallet. Close your wallet.
You see? Shout out to this sister right here. She's still feeding her kids. You can hear her kids playing in the background, happy and everything. She ain't no store. She ain't at no store trying to steal food or nothing like that. She got her food. She got everything that she needs. She taking care of herself. You know, and that's why I said it just goes back to what I was saying. You know, we know how to survive. We know how to move on this land. You know, we accept the help, but at the same time, if shit goes down, we know how to move without it. We've been doing it for so long. Food stamps and everything came into play in 1939. It wasn't until maybe 25 or 30 years later that our people started getting it. And then with that, it was a whole bunch of bullshit attached to it. You know what I mean? And it's always been bullshit attached to it ever since. But and the reason why things is hard, why they make it so hard to get it in the first place, is because we have access to it now. They don't want us on it, you know? So it's starting to get to that point again. And then these dumbass people out here is agreeing with the people that want to take it away because they feel like, oh, it's the so-called black community that receives the majority of EBT, you know? And then, like a brother had pointed out, I didn't save his video on there, but it was a professor. He said on there, it was a Amerindian brother. He said, a lot of these white folks out here in the South think that, you know, they food subsidies ain't gonna be taken away. They feel like EBT is for colored people, and SNAP is something different, or SNAP is for colored people, you know, EBT and stuff, and they don't realize that they EBT, they food stamps, they SNAPs, they food supplement, they subsidies and stuff is one and the same, and they're the ones that receive the majority of it. They've been receiving it the longest. You know, you want to talk about generational welfare queens and things like that. I mean, hey, the stats don't lie. They like to throw that per capita shit, you know, around because they got some bullshit numbers on us to begin with, saying that we're only this much amount of the population, and then on top of that, they want to say, well, since it's less of you and it's this percentage, then that means it's more of you that's receiving it than us. No, that is bullshit. That is utter bullshit. Why would the so-called minority of this country be the largest spending power of this economy? Make the math make sense. You can't. You can't. Because it's all bullshit. And now they're starting to realize it because they see who's out here struggling for real, and who's out here surviving and thriving. And I'll get forward to that in a minute. Like I said, I'm going to show you what our people are doing. But right now, let's keep on moving.
For the next 2 months, I am closing my wallet. No new shoes, no new bags, no new coats, no new candles, no late night scrolling on the TikTok shop. I am using what I have, shop in my own closet. I'm calling it the I Got Food at Home Challenge. But it's more than just about food. You remember when you were younger and you would be out with your parents, and on the way home, you would always want to stop and pick something up to eat at your favorite fast food restaurant? But what did your parents used to tell you? We got food at home. That's right, we got food at home. But this challenge is more than just about food. It's about shopping your own closet, being disciplined, and saving. So every Sunday, I'll fill in the blank. I got blank at home. I got purses at home. I got boots at home. I have coats at home. This challenge is all about being grateful for what it is we already have and resisting the urge to always go out and buy something new. Because honestly, I have more than enough. This challenge is about gratitude, discipline, and reminding ourselves that being content is a flex too. So if you're ready to stop impulse shopping and shop your own closet too, use the hashtag I got food at home. I want to see what you're working with. Let's grow, let's glow, and let's save together.
All right? Like I said, we not the ones out here that's hurting hard like that. There's some of us that's feeling it for sure. I'm one of them. I'm definitely feeling it. You know? I definitely feel the difference between this month and last month. But I mean, if none of us can't say that honestly for real, I mean, I don't care how much money you got. You've been feeling it. At least for the past 2 to 3 years, you've been feeling it. You've been feeling the tightness, and you'd be dead wrong if you say you haven't, or you just you doing way better than most. If you say you ain't felt the difference, but we definitely feeling it out here. At the same time, we ain't hurting as hard as most people. We ain't, and I'm not gonna say that we are, because I might even be going through the little bit that I'm going through. But I can tell you, my family is good. My family ain't hurting half as much as the ones that came out here from somewhere else that truly depends on the government, that literally built they everything off of what they gave them on as a monthly subsidy. I'm not feeling it like that. My family ain't feeling it like that. And a lot of our families, a lot of our indigenous people are not feeling it like that. We feeling it, but we ain't hurting. And if some of us are hurting, we're able to pick up on that, and we're helping each other out. You know what I'm saying? But we not feeling it as much as a lot of these other folks out here are. And it's funny and it's ironic, you know. But like I said, I ain't trying to talk about nobody. It just is what it is. Let's keep moving forward.
Good morning. Just sliding in with a quick question before I get on live. So if SNAP benefits supposed to end tonight at 12, tomorrow, November the 1st, tell me why we're not closing our wallets to the government. I watched a video not too long ago and the lady was stating, how come we don't close our wallets to Black Friday? How come we don't close our wallets to buying turkeys and trying to figure out what to feed our families for Thanksgiving? I think the whole United States needs to start a new tradition. If you can't afford your Thanksgiving, start a new tradition. Who cares about a turkey or a ham? I mean, it's man-made. The whole holiday. So families that are affected, spice it up a little bit. Change your Thanksgiving. Just change it. And if you need help, I pray there's communities out here that will help the ones that are in need. Because it could be you. It could be us. People say, well, it's not going to affect anybody else. Yes, it is. If it affects them, it's going to affect all of us. If it affects one, it affects us all. It's like a domino effect. So with that being said, I just want to know, since they want to shut the SNAP benefits down and cause families to go into chaos, then let's cause them to go into chaos and close our wallets, y'all. Don't buy these turkeys. Don't buy these hams. Don't do these Black Fridays. These kids have enough. Get these kids what they need for the 26th of December, the 27th of December, the 1st of January. Stop worrying about toys and things. Start getting your kids what they need. But like I said in the beginning, if the government is going to try to shut us down, let's shut them down. Close your wallet, y'all.
So I mean, that's how we moving. That's how we moving. And yeah, she's right. A lot of these holidays, all of these holidays, are not. These are man made. A lot of these are man made. All of them are man made. Let's be real. Even the ones that we acknowledge as indigenous people, we created those things to bring gathering, to bring fellowship amongst our people. And we based most of our festive days are based around our harvest season. When our food comes in, all of the work and stuff that we've put in over the year, over the season, when all of that stuff begins to harvest and we reap that harvest, that's when we come together and we appreciate one another for all the work, all the help that we've given one another to make all of the bounty bountiful, that made the that made the season what it is, that brought all of this food. Every hand that's been a part of putting into the soil and toiling and working and nurturing and maintaining. When all of that comes into fruition, when all of that stuff harvests and it blooms, and those fruits and those vegetables, and the meat comes in, the migration of the animals come in, and we're able to stock up on the meat when the fish come in to the river, after a long season of being away, and we come in and we harvest those fish, and the buffalo come in, the bison rather, they come in, and everything, from the fowl to the deer, everything, man, and our fruits and vegetables, like I said, all that work that we put in to make our bounty bountiful. That in that time, that's when we come together and we gather and we appreciate one another, we fellowship with one another. The coming together, that's our holy time, that's our holy day, that's our sacred time, is when we're able to come together as a people and appreciate one another. That's what it was originally about. So don't feel like you have to hang your hat on Thanksgiving. Say, oh, well, the Indians celebrated Thanksgiving and this and that and the other. Them foreigners came in during a harvest time, and they utilized that harvest time to take advantage of our folk, to take advantage of our hospitality. But that's something that we've been doing for thousands of years. They just turned it into a commercialized religion, a commercialized ritual. But this is something that we've been doing for millennia, for generations. So don't get it twisted. Still get with your family. Still connect with your family. Still bring that fellowship. Still have that fellowship with one another. We can do that without giving these corporations and stuff all this money. We don't have to spend so much just to be in each other's lives, just to be in the midst of one another. It's like when my wife and I, we had a wedding. We had our wedding and everything, and you know what how our wedding went down. We literally had our wedding inside of the house. We paid for a chaplain. We paid for a minister and stuff. We paid for a photo guy and everything, and we had our wedding inside of our house. And then our dinner, our wedding dinner, was literally cornbread and beans, chili beans and cornbread. Because like I said, when we got in, this all happened within a few months. Like we came in, we came together. I was in the midst of switching the job. I was going from one small paying job to a larger, much significantly larger paying job within my industry. And during that transition, I used what I had, and my wife used what she had, because she was full on pregnant, so she had to stop working. And so we utilized everything that we had to come together and set up shop for ourselves, because I wasn't gonna allow her to have my child without a roof over her head. I wasn't gonna allow my child to be born in somebody else's house. I wanted my own for us. We wanted our own, and we came together and we did that. And we said, well, we gonna do it. We gotta do it right. So immediately around that same time, we had our wedding. We had our wedding in December, in the beginning of the year. We got all of this stuff done in October. It's funny. We got all that stuff taken care of in October, and then we got married in December. So, the money was still just starting to trickle in, and the money that we had the most simplest, I guess you can say, country ass wedding that you can possibly imagine. We just, in a little 3-bedroom apartment, and we had a house. We had an in-house wedding. Invited all the family. Everybody was on the couch. Everybody was standing up. Everybody was at the kitchen table. Had our minister there. Did the thing. Had pictures. Everybody getting up in front of the window where it was the best light. And we was taking wedding pictures. Everybody from the family, taking pictures with us and stuff. And hey, you know, we had chili beans and cornbread. That was our wedding dinner, you know. And so when I get in a better situation, I definitely want to do a better wedding, because my wife deserves it. She deserves all of it. She deserves the all go out everything. I mean, whatever she wants, she deserves, man, because she's really shown herself to be a woman of that worth, and I truly cherish her, through all the times that we've been through, and this is the kind of mindset. This right here is what I'm talking about. Thinking on such a quintessential level. I'm not gonna say simple, because I I remember I said, the reason why I see you, the reason why I cherish you is because you're a simple woman. You like the basic things, and then she got really offended. That's one thing that I learned as a man. Never call your woman simple. Never call your woman basic. That is a big no-no. Even if she likes the simple things in life, even if she's not the highest maintenance, and she do not call her. That is an insult. That is a definite no-no. But the word that I would like to say is quintessential. You know, she's very quintessential. She looks at the essential things. She cherishes the essentials. She cherishes the necessities. And that's something that I really truly appreciated about her. Despite all of the money that we made, and despite all of the tough times that we've gone through, she's always found a way to make a way out of no way. You know what I'm saying? And that's just that feminine divinity. You know, so I appreciate her for that. But yeah, make it your own. Make it your own thing. You don't have to spend all this money to be a part of something that is overly commercialized, overly saturated, and just ultimate just is out of date. It's just too fucking expensive. You know, it's become a time of greed. It's become the exact opposite of what they portrayed this time of year to be. So let's make it our own. If you just have to do something around this time of year, got to come together around this time of year, which I have no problem with, you know. But let's make it our own. Let's do it. Let's keep it original. Let's keep it original. All right.
Come here. Let me tell you something. November 30th, December 2nd is our blackout day. And remember that. Don't let them hang this SNAP benefits in front of you like it's a bone. Throw it to you and say, now come on, it's Black Friday, it's the holidays. We gave y'all your little food back. Come on and spend, because that's not what we're doing. There's so many people out here that don't have a job right now, unemployed, people who are starving, that need assistance, and they think it's a joke to treat American people like this. So what I'm saying to you and encouraging you to do is close the damn wallet. We're not spending. This is a time to educate your children on what is actually going on and how this is affecting you, them, and their future. So remember that blackout date. We're not spending. Close your goddamn wallet.
So this sister right here gave specific dates, that and a lot of people I've seen are starting to follow that. I don't know what the specific dates are. All I know is I got all of my house shopping and stuff done for the month. I got all my stuff done, and then when I get it, all I'm doing is just getting the necessities for next month. You know what I'm saying? And so on. I'm just moving like that, and I'm not really focused and too hung up on certain days. I know that I ain't spending nothing for. I ain't going all out on no Thanksgiving. I ain't going all out on no Christmas. We never really done that. My kids already know what the get down is. That's why we celebrate things like Hanal Pasan. That's why we celebrate the winter harvest season. We don't call it Christmas. We don't call it Thanksgiving. We call it the winter harvest season. All during this time, we come together, we gather with one another, and we appreciate the fruits of our labor over this year. The harvest of our labor over this year. And we get each other, things and stuff, and we appreciate each other, and we be in the midst of one another. You know what I mean? That's what we do. That's what my family, my particular family do. You know, my immediates. And yeah, you got some outside and out, you know, the relatives and stuff that still do Christmas, still do Thanksgiving and stuff like that. And if we ever get invited, you know, we're more than happy to participate. You know what I mean? As far as like, we ain't gonna be doing no religious stuff or nothing like that. And I think that's what kind of stopped the invitations from rolling in, honestly. But you know, I ain't tripping. I ain't tripping at all. I ain't, you know, I still appreciate my family. I cherish them and everything. But you know, a lot of them are still religious, and they still, you know, take this as a religious time. You know, and we're not religious at all. We don't do that. You know what I'm saying? We don't do the whole, you know, whole Jesus thing. You know, so I mean, that's whoever does it. I mean, it's up to y'all. That's y'all thing. You know, just my thing is, if you are here, you part of this. I highly encourage that you know, you do the research and look at what you're really, you know, worshiping and what you're getting into. You know, but at the same time, I'm not here to push, you know, anti-religion or anything like that on nobody. You worship what you worship. You know, you stand on what you stand on, and that's what makes you unique as an individual. Is that you have your own set of morals and values that you follow. You know what I mean? Because let's be 100. Not everybody is a pure Christian. Not everybody is a pure Catholic. Not everybody is a pure Muslim. If you really seen what those religions really entail and the criteria that it entails in order for you to be a part of that institution, you would know that you truly do not value the same things that they do. We have our own way of doing things, and we as copper-colored Aborigines, as original people of this land, have always done things our original way, no matter what we called it. You know, like I told you before, a lot of people, you know, in the denominations of, you know, the Baptists, or what they like to call the black churches, you know, a lot of those practices and stuff, the devotion, the shouting, the speaking in tongues and stuff like that, a lot of that comes from hoodoo. You know, a lot of people who have roots in the South participate in those kind of rituals during what they call church mass. You know what I mean? And we don't even know it as church mass. You know, we know it as church. As church or church. You know what I mean? We go and we have church. We are just coming together, we fellowshipping with one another. And yeah, there is a religious base involved, but at the same time, the practices, the movement, the music, the artistry, the expression, the creativity, everything that we do, from giving the spoken word to the dancing and the shouting, all the way to the fellowship at the end of the service where we come together and eat food. That all has ties into our ancient indigenous ways of doing things. You don't go to a white church and find the same things that you would find in a so-called black church. All right? But with all that being said, like I said, I digress. But it's going forward, you know, it's time. You know what I mean? We on a new kind of time. You know? Let's keep on moving.
Are a black American, I need you to wake the fuck up. You have Elf, LFE, playing in our face with Matt Rife, that commercial, that ad. And then you have KFC, black people. I need all of us, all of us collectively to move. Just walk and move your body. Then you have social media laughing. Oh, like, well, here, damn, here's your food. Just like I don't like when y'all say big back and the self-hatred and the anti-black. We have money in our spending power. It's gonna get a lot darker and a lot crazier. They are bending the knee to Donnie. We are a black American.
Yeah. So, you know, shout out to this sister right here. And yeah, the little self-hatred, you know, self-degradation things like big back and, you know, wide neck and stuff. Yeah, it's funny. You know what I'm saying? But those are, you know, negative self-affirmations. You know what I mean? Those are negative, you know, things that we throwing towards one another. So let's get better in that for sure. But yeah, she sees it. These different commercials and stuff. She's specifically talking about, you know, with with that homeboy that was the elf and Mariah Carey. I ain't gonna play that. I ain't gonna play that junk for copyright purposes. You know, I ain't trying to give them no kind of time or money or space anyway. But you know, if you got time, definitely, you know, on your own time, check out that. If you just have to, check out that commercial with Mariah Carey and that little elf dude. I think he said his name is Matt something. But anyway, that bullshit right there. They told you in your face, you know. They had the little elf saying, "Oh, we're boycotting," you know, in his little sassy voice. We're boycotting, and you know, we're taking the glam with us, and we're taking this, and we're not doing this year. We're not spending any money. We're canceling the holidays, and then you got Mariah Carey there, you know, Captain Save a Corporation. You know, the corporation's golden child, basically. They always depend on her to usher in this spending season. You know, it's time. You know what I mean? And then her with her voice, with that melanated voice, you know, in that high pitch squeal that she does. You know, because let's be real. She can't hold a candle to a Minnie Riperton or oh man, I forgot that other sister name. Man, my wife showed me, but she a older singer, but she been around for a long time. She does those whistle notes. It starts with a C, and y'all probably know who I'm talking about. But that sister right there, she could blow, man. She could blow, and she can run. She can sing whistle notes in circles around Mariah Carey. But yeah, she did one of them, you know, them whistle notes. It's time, you know, and then changed everything into the winter season and shit, you know. And then homeboy, you know, little sassy boy that was walking out the door, that you know, was about to was standing on business, you know, trying to say they was gonna cancel the holidays. He turned into a damn snowman. He just conformed to the time. He conformed to the season, you know. So all that bullshit, that ain't playing on us. That ain't playing on us. And then they said something about KFC did something. I haven't even seen the whole KFC thing. I ain't even gonna fuck with that. You know, that in itself, you know, that dude, that little pasty boy from Kentucky, he stole that recipe from an Amerindian woman. We already know that. So I don't even really fuck with KFC like that. Real ones know. Do your research. But yeah, bottom line is we're not falling for the commercials. We ain't falling for the bullshit. It's like the thumbnail said. We ain't falling for it. We closing the damn wallets. All right. So I like what she said. Wake up and close that wallet. Let's move forward.
Black people, we have finally figured out that they emotionally manipulate us in order to justify their nonsense. I am so glad that we not letting them do what they did to us in 2020. It's either we wised up or we all collectively became nihilistic. Regardless, I'm glad that we not letting Musk and his nonsense and all them others get us into a place where we frazzled and upset. We not out here doing the most, talking, yapping. We just withholding the money. Black people, we have finally figured out that they emotionally.
Yeah. We holding the money. We keeping that purse closed. We keeping that wallet closed. You know, we ain't falling for the bullshit no more. I appreciate each and every one of y'all who's tuned in. Make sure that y'all send some likes to this video. Make sure y'all liking this if you in here. I see 4 people watching. We should have at least 4 likes. You know what I'm saying? So I would truly appreciate that. You know what I mean? But yeah, we gotta stand on business, and that's exactly what we're doing. I appreciate each and every one of y'all. I appreciate, you know, the sister right here. We gonna keep moving though. We ain't done.
So I know we're supposed to be canceling the holidays, and I get it. I understand why we want to do that. But here's my theory, right? So instead of canceling the holidays altogether, because you have to understand that's usually the time that a lot of people only get to see their family and friends. So do we really want to cancel that? No, we don't. But what we do want to cancel are these big corporations. So the Walmarts, the Targets, all of these companies. However, instead of canceling the holidays, how about you only do your holiday shopping with small businesses? hear me out. Maybe we need to starve these big corporations. Maybe they need to understand that our dollars go a lot further than they want to give us credit for. So how about, instead of continuing to make these millionaires and billionaires richer, we make small business owners richer? If you are a small business owner of any sort, I don't give a damn if you're black, white, Asian, Latino, Indian, whatever. I do not care. I need you to comment or stitch this video and tell us your business. Let us know what it is that you sell so that we can support you this holiday season. We need to get these big corporations' knees off our necks and their hands out of our pockets. Once they understand that we, the consumer, hold all the power, I promise you the dynamics of everything will shift. But as long as we are feeding these big corporations, they will continue to eat us up.
Right, right. You know, so I'm cool with that. Supporting the small businesses, those who are, who's in the community, and those who are giving back to the community. Definitely support those small businesses that are doing that. We got our indigenous farmers out here that's, like I said, doing free grocery stores in the hood, that's giving out food to our people. Our people first. Our people first. Definitely support our people first. Our people's businesses. When they call the so-called black businesses, and who's truly American and who's a truly American-owned business and who's not. But we want to take care of our Americans, our true Americans first. True Americans, real ones know. Look up the 1828 definition of American. That's what I mean by a true American. Let's support our true Americans first, our true American farmers, our true American small businesses. Let's come together and support them first before we support anybody else. And then, everybody else that got a small business that gives back to the community that you're in, your local businesses and stuff, definitely support them during this time, because everybody feeling it, and now would be the most perfect time to do so, to make a statement, you know what I mean, and keep things local, like Sister said, so definitely I'm for that. I'm definitely with it. All right, so let's keep on moving.
It's getting bad out here, y'all. It's getting bad. When I tell you I'm in Dollar General picking up a few items, I'm just sitting at the cash register being patient, because it does have a bell up there, and it's like ring the bell for service. So I eventually rung it after sitting there for about 5 minutes. So then the cashier came. She started ringing me out. A guy ran out the store real quick. I didn't know what was going on. I look outside. I see the guy. He's getting in the passenger side of a truck, and he has both hands was full of groceries. Mind you, he wasn't stealing stuff to sell. He had, all I could see was a yellow carton of eggs, and like some other food items. And he ran in, and the guy that was also working in the store ran behind the truck and got his license plate number. And I'm like, don't be risking y'all lives to, chase somebody that's stealing. Like, it ain't that deep. But it is getting bad out here. And he was just stealing food. Like I just told the cashier, I said, I just went to a food pantry yesterday. I said, that man could have went to a food pantry. Like, that's why I'm spreading awareness about it. That's why I'm telling people it's okay to go sit your pride aside and go to the food bank if you need to. They giving out good things, even if not, it's better than stealing and risking going to jail. But when you go to jail, the kids, if you have them, they're going to get taken away from you. So if you're struggling and you need food, go to a food pantry. Just set your pride aside. And like I told the lady, I was like, I'm so sad. Like, I literally wanted to cry, and I'm tearing up now because it's like, man stole groceries. He was stealing groceries, food. And I was like, I will give him food, you know what I mean? But it was too late. The crime was already done. And I'm just thinking, like, it's going to keep happening more and more. And she said that last night a man came in the store and he asked, could he have a bottle of water? He had a baby bottle in his hand. And he was getting ready to steal a case of water to give his baby some water. But she gave him some water, and he let her know that that's what he was getting ready to do. He was getting ready to steal. So I pray for everybody. I pray for this country. I pray for all this going on. I pray for other countries, and that everybody can have their basic essentials met. It's getting terrible out here, y'all. I pray, and I hope y'all praying too. Bye.
Yeah, yeah. So we got folks out here that's feeling it, and we got folks out here that's that's starting to resort to this. You know what I mean? But even with all that being said, the what I've been finding is it's not our people that's doing it. It's other folks. It's some other folks that's doing it. And yeah, when you see it happening, you feel sorry. You feel bad. And like Sis said, she would have fed him. She would have got him something. And it's people out here that's really feeling it like that. And I remember I was at the dollar store across the street from my spot, and it was a brother that was in there. It was an actual brother that was in there, man. He was contemplating. He was like, man, it's like, I wish I could just put this shit in my pocket right now. I wish I could just, put these cans in my bag. My pockets is too small. It's like, I need these, I'm like, brother, you ain't got to do all that. I was like, you ain't got to do that, man. And so I was like, if you got it, are you good? And he was like, well, yeah, I got it, man. I got it. It's my last little bit, but I'm gonna spend it. You know what I mean? And he ended up going to the front, and he ended up paying for his stuff and dipping. But we gotta hold ourselves. We gotta continue to hold ourselves to a standard out here. And even if shit, it was just a few cans from the dollar store. I would have overdrafted my account to make sure that he got what he needed and I needed at the same time, and made sure that we was good. You know what I mean? Like, that's how we got to look out for each other out here. But the bottom line is, when you see these accounts that's coming up, and these are going to start coming up. Excuse me. When you see these different accounts and the cores of these, these reports of people stealing from these stores and stuff, you're gonna see a large difference in what they're portraying, and what's really happening, the true story. And that's why I'm here to debunk all the bullshit that's been going on around that, because we know that folks have been in the stores and they've been walking out and stuff like that, but it has not been our people. And what they've been portraying as our people have been artificial intelligent videos. They've been AI videos made by Sora and other different AI companies and stuff. People are prompting to make these kind of bullshit ass narratives and stuff, saying that we are walking in there stealing from stores and stuff. You're going to see that stuff. You're going to see that bullshit, but we're also going to see who's really doing the do, though. And you can tell the difference of what's real and what's fake. So let's keep on moving forward.
This situation with Snap. The folks was up here trying to say that all black people, they just going to lose it. Black people are going to go steal in the stores and everything, right? Well, we have a video, actually 2 videos I want to show you. I want you to see who's actually stealing out of the store, who's stealing food. And let me give you just a small clue. It's not us. Let's go ahead and check that out.
Nothing beats a Jet2 holiday. And right now, you can save £50 per person. That's £200 off for a family of 4. We've got millions of free child place holidays available, with 22 kilograms of baggage included. But now, with Jet2 holidays, package holidays you can trust. Patronage protected.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah. So, that's just one accord, that's one account, but this is what, as you can see, it wasn't us, and then that's the thing with these, see, the guy was trying to chase her and stuff, but that's the thing, they only lost protection. They can't go past that property line, so she knew once she passed that property line, that was it. That's a wrap. She was free, but that wasn't us. So He gonna see what he gonna show what we really doing out here though.
Well, that didn't look like a black person. That looked like a total white person stealing, right? Stealing food. Now I thought black people was gonna be the one out here stealing food if they didn't get their SNAP. And you know what? That guy, he needs to be fired. He needs to be fired because he did not stop that woman. He didn't fully chase her. Now some people may say, well, he maybe was agreeing with her stealing because, people need help. We don't know that, but his job was supposed to secure the store, right? And didn't them folks tell us there's no excuse for stealing? That's what they told us. It's the same thing that I say. There's no excuse for stealing. But once again, it's what I said before. This is what happens when you go to the voter booth to hurt other people. Now you're being hurt. See, for years you were never hurt at all. And you thought that, well, I'm getting my benefits and I'm going to hurt those black people. But now it has turned. It has turned. And we're not out here encouraging our people to go steal. Because you know why we're not encouraging our people to go steal? Because we know how to make lemonade out of lemons in life. We have been the people that know how to make $1 out of 15 cents. That's been us. When you know how to do that, you don't have to go steal. Because you got the skills to make it. And see, these people don't have the skills to make it. They've been literally handed everything on a silver platter. From the poor among them and definitely to the rich among them. But now the rich among them feel like they have no use for poor white people.
Well, I thought he was going to get into the farmers that are feeding the communities, but I do have a cut of that on my on Twitter, on X. I'll share that to you or see if I can find it on here in a minute. But we're going to keep on moving down the line. But shout out to Philip Scott. The brother's doing good things. He's got his channel and everything. I don't agree with everything he says personally. He's really heavy on the politics and shit, but and then when he first started, he was like real Africa, 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 Africa. You know what I'm saying? And he was even going against, and probably still is in some retrospect on his different networks that he has, going against the indigenous movement that's going on out here. But but at the same time, really pushing that FBA stuff. And you already know how I feel about FBA as far as an organization. Not those who claim FBA, but the FBA as far as what it stands for, what they say it stands for, what its founder says it stands for. I'm totally against, in the sense of, I give my reasons, and y'all want to see that video, y'all can just look on my channel, and I'll break it down, to a T. But like I said, those who claim FBA, who, but still recognize themselves as the indigenous people of this land, not only as a foundational cog, but as an actual steward of this land, as an original person of this land. Those who recognize themselves as that, but still call themselves a foundational, so-called Black American, all power to you. You know what I mean? Whatever makes you, whatever that title does for you, that makes you stand on business, then hey, I can't just like I can't tell folks what religion and things is. I can only give you the true story, what I mean, behind everything, and that's the truth. I give you the true story behind what FBA truly stands for as an organization. But you identify yourself, whether you're an FBA, a ADOS, a Sulan, or whatever you want to call yourself, man. American Indian, Indigenous American title, which is the legal and lawful, definition of who we are as a people on this land. But hey, like I said, this ain't even a digress. This is just, it is what it is. You do your own research, The real ones, they don't know what time it is. Y'all know what time it is. And not saying you ain't real for claiming that, but if you hear you on this channel, you know to get down. Especially if you were day one. You know exactly which video I'm talking about. I've shared it multiple times on this platform and on many others. But either way, shout out to our brother Philip Scott that's been doing the damn thing, that's been exposing, the lies and stuff, and while still holding on to his personal beliefs and ideologies, hey, he still sheds light on our community, and I appreciate him for that. So let's keep on moving on.
When you got the whole team helping, no EBT.
So you got the. Now, this is a lady right here. This a Black Diamond lady. She got an African flag on her profile, if I'm not mistaken. Let me just go to that real quick. Or that's not even my bad. That's not even a chick. That's a dude. But yeah, you can tell. You can kind of tell that he ain't one of us. Because we gonna run that back. We gonna run that back so you.
Helping, no EBT.
So you got the.
The ancestors want to know when we gonna take our shit back.
Look up, Bob.
We going off. We getting deep now. let me get back to where we. Let me get back to where we was. But yeah. If y'all couldn't tell, that was complete and utter bullshit. That was an AI. That was an AI video. Again.
When you got the whole team.
Pause it right here. You can tell that this is AI because look at them feet right there on sis, on this little girl. Look at these feet. Look at these feet. If she was really moving like that, she would have tripped and fell on herself. You know, this AI is getting more advanced, but at the same time, yeah, it's still, you can still tell. And then if just let's be real, folks that's running out of stores and stuff ain't running with stuff, these little shits in their hands, these little and then look at homeboy right here with the cart. This cart is completely empty. Why would you be running out the store with a completely empty cart? That makes no fucking sense.
Helping, no EBT.
Tomatoes, tomato, and then little girl got a. So that's the first thing that her little butt gonna think of. That's the first thing that a little girl like this, a little chocolate girl gonna think is to get a bell pepper and a damn banana. Come on now. I don't care what kind of little kid that is. If they a little kid trying to steal something, really trying to take something out of a store, my little kids when they go before they found out the value of money and the value of transaction and that because everybody when they have kids, y'all already know. Kids, what the first thing that kids like to do when they go to the store? They like to pick up stuff. They like to pick stuff up and put things in the cart, right? They like to pick up stuff. What's the first thing that they go for? They go for the junk food. They usually go for the Cheetos. They go for the candies. They go for the, ooh, what's that, mommy? Ooh, what's that, daddy? Look at that. Ooh, that looks good. They not reaching for no goddamn bell pepper and no goddamn banana. The fact that they put a banana in her hand, and then you look at these comments down here. See if I can move this thing. You look at these comments down here. You can't even see. I can't even. I think they deleted it. They must have deleted it. But it was like a close up of her with holding the banana in her hand, basically calling her a monkey. Like, oh, not the little one with a banana in her hand. With the little monkey emoji or whatever. And laughing. You can tell. Motherfuckers like this, Mr. Black Diamond 6536, he not like us. He not like us. Period. Point blank. He not like us. And he thinks that little shit like this is funny. It's not funny. It's not funny at all. And the shit don't even make no fucking sense. You could tell his ass ain't got no damn kids. That's for sure. Because ain't no kid in life. I don't give a damn if it's a little Amerindian kid. I don't care if it's a little Arab kid. I don't care who it is. Ain't no little ass kid when you say, okay, baby, go grab everything that you can and let's run out the store. Ain't no little goddamn kid going after no goddamn bell pepper and no fucking banana. Come on. Let's be real. But anyway, besides those obvious things, you can clearly tell that this is AI. And then homeboy gonna run around with the cart and with an empty ass cart, and then he the one with the goddamn keys talking about open the door, open the door. But he got the keys in his hand.
Unlock the door. Open the door.
So you got to unlock the door. Come on. Come on. Come on. Calm the fuck on. Let's get real. Let's show you the true story. This is the bullshit that they want to put in front of you. This is what they want you to think is happening. But let's show you the true story. That's what's really happening. This is what's really going on. They pulling up to the back of these stores, moving with these carts and stuff, and they pulling up to the back of these stores and they filling up their cars and they dipping. And you see how much food they got in there. Do you think they got one bell pepper and one fucking banana? No. $700 worth of food. If motherfuckers out here stealing, they making it worth their freedom. They feel like their freedom is worth $700. But they making it worth their freedom. Ain't nobody out here just stealing a bell pepper and a goddamn banana and some cherry tomatoes. Calm the fuck on. With 4 kids, calm the fuck on. And it ain't us. It ain't us. This is who's doing it.
They arrested me at Walmart because I was stealing food. I was stealing meats. They took me down, mad cops. I tried to fight them off. They arrested me at Walmart because I was stealing food. I was stealing meats. They took me down, mad cops. I tried to fight them off.
You see this bullshit? You see this bullshit? And it's got the Sora thing right there. For those who don't know, because I ain't gonna call nobody stupid. Those who know. And if you don't know, when you see this logo right here, Sora, this is AI. This is artificial intelligence. This is a made up video. Somebody told this application to make a so-called black man, a obese black man, prompted that shit for them to be at Walmart and make him say what he say and make the things happen the way it's happening. Who the fuck gonna take a selfie and do a damn TikTok video in the midst of being arrested? That's some dumbass shit right there. If you really think that that's what's happening, and not saying that those who's viewing this and watching this actually think this shit is going on, but you gotta be a dumbass motherfucker. And I said I wasn't gonna call nobody stupid, and I did it. But you gotta be a dumbass motherfucker to think that this shit is real.
They arrested me at Walmart because I was stealing food. I was stealing meat.
Look at the goddamn handcuffs. Look at the handcuffs. Look at homeboy's face right here. You guys got to be able to tell. And then look at this is supposed to be Walmart. Look what it says. Look what the building says. We're coming to a time where we really have to use the ability of discernment. We got to look beyond what we see in the naked eye. Really analyze and fact check and really question what we see today. Do your research, in everything that we do. But yeah, look at this shit. Look at these handcuffs. Come on now. But then you got people in here just going, the comments, good, good. Oh, not meats. Oh my goodness, good. You weren't exactly buying rice and tortillas, dude. Enjoy the oatmeal sandwiches in jail. Really? Really? Yo stupid ass really think Donna Blanca, Donna Blanca 5, yo stupid ass really think, I'm gonna call you stupid. Yo stupid ass really think that this is a real ass fucking video. Come on. That takes a special kind of stupid right there. And here's another stupid ass motherfucker. Eileen Burrell, 98. And you can tell by these last names. I ain't gonna say nothing more. City get paid surcharge fee and court costs. How you like the food now, jail? Or you will see more welfare recipients down there too if they think these people going to just let them take their it not going to happen. Welcome to the county. This stupid ass motherfucker can't even write a complete sentence. Got the nerve to try to insult somebody. Anyway, this is the bullshit that I was talking about. This is the shit right here that you need to be aware of, that you need to know that this is happening. These are how, people are these are how people are putting that false narrative out there and putting these negative tropes on us. And at the same time, you got folks out here, while they're doing that, painting us in a bad light. You got the corporations doing this.
So I'm in CVS, and this is what I see. Okay, cool. Black Santa. But also what I look up and see is, kind of makes me wonder, what was this 20, 30 years ago when you needed a Black Santa? But better yet, who are these people? And it's kind of making me wonder why I only see these folks up here and not one white Santa.
You see what they doing? You see what they doing? So while they're putting us on the ass end, they're giving these other folks ammunition to continually degrade us, to continually, talk down on us, to continually put us in these tropes and throw these tropes and these different narratives on who we are and what we doing and how we moving out here. While they doing that, you got these big corporations in the background pandering to us because they know that we have the true power in this country. We are the ones that hold the true spending power in this country. We are the true majority in this country that they have to appeal to in order to keep their system afloat. But why do you want to keep a system that allows bullshit like I just showed you be propagated, get thousands and millions of views? Why do you want to keep a system like that afloat? Outside of just purchasing your bare necessities, the things that you need in order to survive and to live and to live a comfortable life, outside of splurging and everything like that, outside of just taking care of your necessities, why would you want to feed a system? Why would you want to splurge on a system like this? We gotta wise up as a people, and we are wising up as I showed you. We ain't falling for this bullshit no more. We ain't falling for this shit.
All of a sudden, all the Santa Clauses and ornaments. Even Frosty. The elves. What the fuck, you guys? Not one white Santa. What the fuck? I know damn well y'all better not spend not one dime on no fucking decorations for these holidays. Not one damn dime. While the rich is getting richer, the poor is getting poorer. Still spending money on holidays, and they done made every fucking ornament and Santa Claus black. What the fuck?
Yeah, yeah. This is the video that I stitched. This is the original video, and shout out to this sister right here. Shout out to her, you know. And yeah, man, we ain't doing this shit. We ain't doing this shit. No, no. As she said, you must be out your damn mind if you feel like if you want to spend on this system and pay for all this stuff, and they got all this shit going on, saying at the same time, you the poorest people, you're the ones out here stealing, you're the ones out here doing all this crime and shit and hurting the most. But at the same time, it's their people doing it, and then they want to pander this stuff to you guys. Oh, make sure you buy this though. Make sure that you keep spending your money on that. But you know, we gonna propagate out there. We gonna push this video out here. All these fake videos out here of you guys stealing. We gonna of the portrayals of you guys stealing. We gonna keep pushing that narrative. But behind the scenes, you know, we know that you guys hold the most power. We know that you guys are the most powerful people on this land, and we want y'all to please spend your money. No, don't fall for it. Don't fall for the bullshit. Don't fall for it. Don't do it. Don't do it. We smarter than that. We are way smarter than that, family. We are. You know we are. And we moving as such. And I appreciate the sister for bringing it to attention. And I appreciate the brother behind her to bring that to the attention. You know, and they not the only ones pushing it out there, letting it be known. You know, it is what it is. You know, and we got to keep standing on business. We have to. You know, so that's it for that. As far as that goes, let's see if I can get on. Well, first, I'm gonna go ahead and because I really want to show you guys. I want to show you guys what's going on. Let's see. While I'm here, let's go ahead and look at the comments. What's going on? I appreciate each and every one of y'all. Yeah, yeah. The banana is racist, so a white person had to do it. Yeah, yeah. That's a fake. Yeah. They made that AI of so-called black people. Yeah, they did. They did. That's what they do. That's what they do. You know, and that's what they gonna continue to push. That's what they're gonna allow to push out here. But at the same time, they allow that stuff to get a whole bunch of views. But my stitch, the little stitch that I did earlier, only got literally like maybe 20 views altogether. You know, what kind of shit is that? You know, but yeah, they gonna push what they want to push. They're gonna push what they want to push. But I got one more thing to show y'all, and then I'm gonna let y'all go. But yeah, I definitely wanna show y'all something. Let me I'm getting signed in right now to X, and then I'll forward y'all that information. But yeah, again, while we're paused for the cause, make sure that you guys like this video. Make sure you guys share this live. Replay gang, you know, I appreciate y'all. Replay gang, I saw that. Shout out to Chief Bartran, you know, that had Replay gang in the comments last time. Truly appreciate you. You know, and that's the thing, man. Let's get this information out here, because nobody else is gonna do this. Nobody else is gonna do this. You know, nobody else is gonna look out for us the way that we look out for one another. They're not gonna show you the true story of what's really going on, like our people. And you can tell who's us and who's not us. Because although a YT person may have made that, it was a so-called who they would deem as a black person. The dude's name is Black Diamond, and he has the image, the avatar of a so-called dark person. But you can tell, even the image that they have up there, if that's even a real person, that person still ain't like us. That person, you can tell that person is from a different place altogether. It's not us, you know. So nobody's gonna look out for us like us, and we have to do that. We have to continue to do that, and the way we do that is by sharing this information, sharing this knowledge, sharing this channel, and others like it, so that our people can see the true story of what's really going on out here. All right? But let me show y'all something. Let me show y'all what we doing out here. Let me show y'all what we doing out here. Let me pull this up. Give me 1 second. Gonna minimize that real quick. Bring this up. Bring this back on. Then let's throw this. Where we at? Let's put this back down. All right. You think y'all good? Yeah. All right. So we got Auntie. We got Auntie out here. Auntie side. Country cooking one. Let's see what Auntie doing out here in these streets.
Y'all see, we about to open the hood free supermarket. Auntie saw it on her bomb ass friends. We don't play about this community. Let's get into it. We got chicken wings, we got salmon, we have whiting, we got, what's this, swine? We even got ribs for y'all. Okay, stop playing with me. We got ground turkey. Y'all need to cut these turkey nuggets up. We got Cornish hens, because I know my seniors, y'all don't like a lot of meat. We're still packing up chicken. More chicken.
Hold on, y'all. We're gonna run this back. We're gonna run this back. Let me close out a few windows though. Let me see what's happening here. We got one. Okay. Just making sure that the playback's okay. Drop frames. These are hours ago. Okay. Okay, we good. All right, y'all. I'm just making sure that we still on the stream here because we had some freezing. Just making sure that we good. All right, so we're gonna run this back. We're gonna run this back and let it play the best that it can. If we have to, we could just throw it up like this and let it run. We're gonna run it back. All right.
Y'all see, we about to open the hood free supermarket. Auntie saw it on her bomb ass friends. We don't play about this community. Let's get into it. We got chicken wings, we got salmon, we have whiting, we got, what's this, swine? We even got ribs for y'all, okay? Stop playing with me. We got ground turkey. Y'all need to cut these turkey nuggets up. We got Cornish hens, because I know my seniors, y'all don't like a lot of meat. We're still packing up chicken. More chicken. Let's get into it. My kids section. Pizza. We got cereal. Of course, nigga. Cereal, waffles, grits, pancakes, peanut butter jelly. No. Why would y'all do that? They get the whole box. No, who said? They get the whole box. I never told nobody that. That's a lie. You get the whole box. How y'all gonna give kids a little bit of what? No, give them the whole box. We got chicken.
Because it wasn't
No, I wanted the whole box. They gotta choose one or the other. Noodles. Y'all see it.
See? So that's what our people are doing. This right here is what our people are doing. This is how our people are moving. Okay? Our farmers are doing this thing. Our small businesses are doing this thing. We are looking out for one another. And if you've seen everybody that's in that line right there, it was our people out there that's getting fed. Our people first. Our people first. And I will say that, and I will stand on that hill. And I ain't dying on that motherfucker. I'm living. I'm thriving on that hill. I'm stomping on that hill. I'm doing my dance on that damn hill. Our people first. We come first. Period. When it comes to us, when it comes to who we take care of, we taking care of ourselves first. Our people first. Give a damn what you call yourselves. Real ones recognize real ones. Real recognize real. Soul recognize soul. Original recognize original. Our people first. And I'm going to stand on that. And I encourage each and every one of y'all to stand on that. This is how we move. This right here is exactly how we move. So shout out to Auntie Side. Y'all can check her out at Country Cooking 1. That's her Country Cooking 1 and Friends Free Hood Market, Free Hood Supermarket. Now, I don't know exactly where this is. Y'all got to do y'all research, but this is just one of a lot of accounts of people who got boots on the ground. You know, boots on the ground is more than a dance. It's more than a line dance. That's a call to action. We got our boots on the ground, and we stomping for our folks. And we stepping over any motherfucker that gets in the way. Because our people come first. Right? Right. So that's the kind of note that I wanted to end on. I truly appreciate each and every one of y'all who had took this time to really, be here with me and do the thing and really see things for what it is. Because we got to put these narratives aside. Those who feel it know it. We out here, some people are doing better than most, but at the same time, those who feel it know it. And those who's feeling it, don't be afraid. Don't be too prideful to ask for help. Don't be afraid to ask, reach out to a family member. Don't be afraid to reach out to your brother, man, to your fellow man, to your fellow Nijis out here. We got to put that shit aside of, oh, black folks, they greedy. Black folk ain't going to do nothing for each other. Oh, we just going to keep each other down. That's what we do. And blah, 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 just spewing out white supremacist tropes and hate on each other. We got to stop that. It's like Sister said at the beginning. We got to stop the self-hate. Stop the self-hatred. Calling each other big back and wide neck. Saying that we ain't shit. We ain't about shit and we ain't going to do shit. We got to get that stuff out. Any motherfucker still talking like that today in 2025 need a foot in their ass. And as a matter of fact, I ain't even going to encourage that violence. I ain't even going to incite that violence. I'm going to say let life deal with them. If that's how they want to move, that's how they want to act, that's how they want to move in life, that's how they want to portray their people, that's how they want to trade on their own folk. They don't want to look out for one another. They feel like nobody looking out for them. Then fine, fuck it. Let them feel it. Let them feel it. Because I ain't got time for people who say that my people ain't shit. My people ain't about shit. My people ain't going to do shit. When I'm with my people, when I'm standing for my people, when I'm parading for my people, I'm stomping for my people, I'm putting the true story out here so my people can see just how beautiful of a people that we are. and how smart of a people that we are, and how successful of a people that we are, and how hospitable of a people that we are, and how much camaraderie that we have amongst ourselves as a people, as a community. That has always been. Who do you think started WIC when they wasn't giving us food stamps? Who do you think started WIC? Who do you think was providing the soup kitchens and stuff for these the potatoes and the cabbage and the soups and stuff for these immigrants out here when they came through during the Great Depression? These immigrants that was out here, it was us running the soup kitchens. It was us that was running the restaurants. It was us that was running the farms. It was us with the power. And we still have the power. Yeah. And we still have the power. Now it's time for us to step into that power, recognize who we really are, and it's time to stand on business. All right, so this has been Chief Steve, live. I'll make sure that I'll change the title to this. I appreciate each and every one of you. Shout out to you, Indigenous Copper Colors, for being here with me. Thank God it's over. Who else was in here? Wing Jaguar, Bullfrog. Yeah. Sorry I couldn't mess with my volume too much. That was... It is what it is. I got a little makeshift setup going on right now, but I appreciate each and every one of y'all. Tahunga, Wangapo, Alito, brother. I gotta make you a mod up in here, man, because you and Indigenous Copper Goddess, I gotta find a way to make y'all mods in the future, because y'all always come through for a brother, and I appreciate it. But I appreciate each and every one of y'all, man. And make sure that y'all like this. If y'all haven't liked already, make sure that y'all share this for the replay gang. Let them know how we moving out here. Let them know the deceptions and the lies. Let them know about the pandering, and let them know what time it is. We closing the wallets, y'all. We closing the wallets to these corporations. We closing the wallets to these motherfuckers that want to push these tropes and these narratives out against us, but at the same time want to kiss our ass while nobody's watching, putting they little, innuendos and they little symbolisms inside of the stores and stuff, trying to get us, trying to dangle culture, dangle a fabricated culture in front of us like a carrot to keep getting this, making us give us our energy, our money, our power. We keeping our power to ourselves, for ourselves, by ourselves. All right? So let's continue to stand on that business. This is Chief Steve signing off again. Tata Chista, I cherish you all. And Yokoki, thank you for watching. We'll see you on the next one.